Wake me up all early to do this. Hollywood, as a straight white male, this has to stop. As a channel which talks about fantasy and sci-fi books, movies, and television shows, I would be remiss not to mention the longest-running sci-fi show of all time, Doctor Who. It first aired in 1963 on the BBC and follows the Doctor, an extraterrestrial Time Lord who travels the universe fighting evil, doing good in his TARDIS, a interdimensional spaceship shaped like a phone booth. I know, very British and very cool. Now, since the first episode aired, there have been 15 different iterations of the Doctor, played by 15 different actors, because that's kind of the whole shtick, right? He changes form every few years, like shapeshifts into a new character, and then continues on with the show. Most recently, the character has been played by, famous British actors like Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and David Tennant. As you can imagine, it quickly became a staple of pop culture and a point of pride for our friends across the pond. I personally have never watched Doctor Who. I know, it's on my list of things to consume, right behind the Bible and Citizen Kane, but I just haven't. But I have friends who watch Doctor Who, and I've watched videos from people who love Doctor Who, and over the years, the show has slowly had its ups and downs and started to slide in, ideology over narrative, There was the first female Doctor, various storylines with varying degrees of controversiality, a weird furry creature thing with pronouns.
He or she or they.
My chosen pronoun is the definite article. I am always the me.
But I kept my mouth shut. It wasn't my thing, wasn't my battle. Until now. Ncuti Gatwa, the 15th Doctor and self-proclaimed first black, genderqueer Time Lord, was recently featured in an article by Metro magazine titled, "Sorry, Straight White Men, Doctor Who was never made for you." They tried to add a "just" a few days later to soften the headline because the backlash was way too much. Ignoring the fact that this is a moronic business move which unnecessarily alienates thousands of your viewers while your show is still airing. That this proclamation came only after your show aired with record low viewership and you initially tried to blame it on the weather. That if Doctor Who has always been queer-coded, as you claim it has been, that a few straight white males not watching should have really zero effect on the viewership. Why? Seriously, why? Now look, if this were a single instance, I'd write it off as another Hollywood actor who, maybe made a mistake, let fame get to his head, and I'd move on. But it's not. This is now the rule, not the exception. A toxic cycle of forcing inorganically contrived messaging into stories, pretending like nothing happened, and then when it falls on its face, blaming it on us, the fans. Captain Marvel fails, blame it on the masses. She-Hulk fails, blame it on the masses. Rings of Power fails, blame it on the masses. Doctor Who fails, blame it on the masses. Are you sensing a pattern here? Either the world has grown exponentially diabolical in the last 30 years, or this is a recovery strategy, a way to mask failure, a giant cope. Personally, I'm tired of being force-fed, castrated, lobotomized preaching labeled as art. It's not, and it never will be. I'm a Christian, okay? There are whole libraries filled with mediocre, faith-based films that I may agree with but will never watch. Preaching is for a pulpit, a speech, a documentary. But when the message comes before the narrative, it will always be bad, whether you agree with that message or not. Regardless of your moral philosophy, we can all agree that humans are rational creatures, and stories are the therapy we all can afford, a way to celebrate, commiserate, and connect with those around us. It may sound hyperbolic or trite when you hear someone like me say, save the culture, protect society, but it's not. Stories are the bedrock of a culture, the building blocks of a civil society. And whether we're talking parables, PowerPoints, or anything else in between, it's a resource that must be defended. To err is human, and to make a bunch of stories, movies, TV shows, and plays about those errors is somehow even more human. So my point is not unbridled despair. In fact, it's the opposite. Stand up, fight. Ignore the noise, support creators who you actually think are good, work that's actually quality. And personally, no matter what you do, keep reading, keep writing, and I'll see you all in the next video.